Hello everyone, so I finally had a chance to play Evil Dead the game. So of course this is a video game based in the Evil Dead franchise. It's survival horror and very similar to the style of course, what you see in games like Dead by Daylight or the Friday the 13th game where you have four survivors trying to escape or like again just do a bunch of little missions here and there while one player plays as the killer. So in this case it is the demons that you fight against in that Ash Williams and all these characters fight against in the Evil Dead series. So it was made by Saber Interactive, and yeah, so really without further ado, let's get into this review. I have a little over 12 hours into this game, did it all single player, so I can't really speak a whole lot to the multiplayer, but I was able to, again, I know enough about it, so yes, let's get into it. So yes, when this game really gets down to the nitty-gritty, it is very similar to almost like the Battle Royale style, but squad-based, that games that Dead by Daylight and of course Friday the 13th have already put across. You steadily power up your characters by looting interactive little games that you go throughout the map of this. So there's a few different game modes, but you can either play as some of the survivors, so classic characters from the Evil Dead franchise, to, of course, playing as a bunch of different types of demons that you'll see all throughout the Evil Dead franchise. And so the more you play as one character, the more you're able to, again, just go into the progression system, which is actually very addictive in this game. I loved finding, well, there's a bunch of ways that you're able to level up your characters, but each one will give you a certain type of buff throughout, of course, the round that you're playing. Where, of course, if you're playing as the human characters, some will have a lot more damage when it comes to long range weapons, short range weapons. There's Ash Williams characters that you can play as who will give like healing buffs to your teammates, or he'll slowly heal over time. There's a bunch of little things, little perks that will adjust to your playstyle a little bit. And then there's a bunch of abilities that you're able to upgrade each round by collecting basically like these little pills that you'll find in kind of ammo boxes, loot boxes throughout the map, and you can fine tune your abilities. So give you more health, more melee damage, more stamina throughout it. You'll be able to interact or do quick time events a lot quicker. Just things like that are really going to help you kind of pick up the pace when it comes to fighting things, or when it comes to, again, just doing the little mini games that will help you progress through the rounds. And the demons will have very, very similar things that they're able to do as well. So this game was definitely heavily designed to be played co-op with your friends, or again just with random people. So playing online, I played this on PS5 and I do not have any ability to I don't have, again, the PlayStation Online, so I had to do this solo based. So I did watch a decent amount of other people play the multiplayer, but I had to stick to one game mode that is 8 chapters long, and basically they're just little story missions that again are taken directly from the movies or even the TV series, and you play through those. About like most of them take 20 minutes to half an hour long to go through, and they're just really fun missions that again give you little objectives to go and do. Some can be as simple as you're just wiping out a bunch of demons in a certain area and you have a time limit to again do so. Some are you have to find your dead girlfriend's head, bury it, and or sorry, dig it up, and then sacrifice it in a ritual ceremony. Like there's a bunch of different ones that will have you play as Ash Williams and other characters from the Evil Dead franchise. And it's just very fun and actually really difficult. Again, this game is designed to be played co-op. So when you're playing it alone, the difficulty curve still it doesn't go away. It's 100% meant to be played co-op. So having all the enemies and demons come directly for you when usually they're supposed to be going against three other people, or two, three, four other people. It's tough. And some of the demons have crazy buffs on it that make it extremely difficult and extremely frustrating to get through. And of course, in these kind of single player missions, you don't get any of the buffs that you do playing the PvP elements of this game. When you do PvE, it's, yeah, again, you just have your base things and that's all. It's basically relying on your skill, and yeah, the skill level is very, very high to get through them. Whereas, of course, in the PvP elements, it's a lot more fine tunes to helping you progress and just again build up the character that you need to go and complete the mission with. So it can get very, very tough. And the one thing too that I found with this game is that there's a lot of just really little annoying things that kind of get in the way of making you want to play as some of the survivors, where there's like little tiny walls that you will not be able to vault or climb over. um some of the quick time events are so tedious, and like looting boxes, picking up things, doing a lot of the again objectives that the survivors have to do are so tedious and just completely almost immobilize you that it's really it's so frustrating a lot of the times to play as the survivors, because again you can just get swarmed and backed into a wall and there's nothing you can do to climb over top of it, where the demons can easily go over top of it too. So if you get stuck in situations like that, and it's just way too tedious to be fun. And a lot of times I think that it was fair in a lot of ways. And again, just a lot. So when you have a timer counting down on you to be able to go and complete all these missions and having super tedious subjective times to do these things like opening loot boxes, destroying curses, things like that. It's just very tedious and you can get swarmed easily and have to restart the long process again. And again, yeah, it's just one of those things where I feel like it's just not designed to be fair to the survivors that you play as, and that makes it again not fun to play as the survivors a lot of the time. Where the demons, I will say, when you're in kind of the free roam mode, so you can only summon yourself as a demon for so long, and then you'll have to collect orbs throughout the world, which are really easy to find. But you're basically in kind of like a free when you play the Halo Forge modes, how you just kind of float around. That's what you do. The controls are very, very it's crazy when you move into it. It's a little tough to control. But these little red orbs that you need to collect, which will give your demon power, and you can use that to summon traps and portals to bring demons to the survivors and help them fight for you. You can possess basically things like trees, where if a survivor gets too close to it, it'll whack them and knock away some of their health or their shield abilities if they have amulets that'll give them healing powers. But basically, just a lot of things that you need to summon them, and then the demon that you choose, depending on how much of again how many of these orbs you picked up, is how long your demon's going to last in its physical form. But say you're just walking around not taking any damage, your demon will be able to last for about 2 minutes long, and they can definitely dish out a lot of damage depending on which one you play as. And each of them have their own different abilities. Some are brawler type, some are magic based, so it's really, really fun to play as the demons. And again, there's just a lot of things that they can do that are so much more mobile and easy to play as, where the survivors are extremely limited in a lot of ways that just feel very cheap, and again make it not too fun to play as the survivors in the PvP elements of this game. But really, when it comes down to like say the gunplay or things like that, this game feels great. And swapping between guns and kind of your melee weapons is really, really smooth. It's just really fun grinding for the XP in this game, and it's just going through again the just missions that you have. There's Shep's Cola that you drink, again just callbacks to the original movies that are very, very cool. And just as a fan of just how over the top those movies were, it goes right into the game in terms of the dialogue, the gameplay. Again, it just feels really smooth. The driving can be a little bit of a like a ragdoll physics at times, where it's very easy to crash the car and then you can just spin it like crazy to get the car back on the tracks. But yeah, it's really, really fun just exploring the worlds that they have. The maps are actually pretty damn solid when it comes down to it. They're big. There's a lot of just buildings that you can go into. I mean, it's empty, it feels abandoned, but that's just kind of how the Evil Dead series has always been. But when it comes down to the dialogue and the music, it's so great, where they take classic lines from these that the characters say and bring them into the into the game. And it's very, very fun to again just have that nostalgic feeling come back to you. The original music and some of the new music that they have in it just kicks in at the perfect time, and it really elevates the scenes that they're trying to go for. And yeah, it's it's really, really fun. So But let's just from the progression system and everything like that, I did have an absolute blast playing this game, and it's something that I would highly recommend, even though there are, like, again, just a few shortcomings. It's super fun to get into. There's a bunch of different game modes, and the PvP elements are very, very fun from what I've been able to tell. Again, I couldn't play them myself because of the way that I had to play this game on the PS5 without any of the online elements. But just going through it single player and again watching a ton of videos and streamers and other people play this game, there's so much to do, and it's just really, really funny if you can get a good group of people, either randoms or with your friends, to go in and play this game, because it's just something like really similar to Dead by Daylight or the Friday the 13th games, where it has really no right being as good as it is, which I find the movies were in a lot of ways. But for an awesome, like, asymmetric multiplayer game like this, it's very, very good. I mean, it can be frustrating, the lack of polish, like I was saying, but with everything taken together, I'm gonna have to give Evil Dead the game a 7.5 out of 10. It's very, 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 very good, and something I can highly recommend. Playing as a survivor is fantastic, whether you be alone or with other people. I mean, again, just polishing issues is really what brings down the score of this a little bit for me, because it can be very distressing, but with just kind of the classic cheesy goodness that inspired this game, it's just really, really fun. The gameplay is awesome, music's awesome, and they keep adding content onto it too. So maybe I can definitely play this again a little later, and maybe on PC where I have access to online abilities, and my score will go up from then. But there, you can tell this definitely was a passion project. A lot of work went into it. It is a fantastic experience, and I do highly have to recommend it. So if you played Evil Dead the game, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up, and you can check out everything I do on this channel through a playlist down below. And for convenience sake, I'll link some up top here. Thank you for subscribing, clicking that little bell so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out everything I do live streaming Twitch-wise, link to that's in the description of this video, and of course my channel bio. And in both those places, you'll find a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord, where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community. Make it even more amazing than it is already, and just awesome, guys.
Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time sinking into the side.